And we're live.
And
Gus
we
the
are
Savage.
live.
Gus the Savage, what's up, brother?
What's going on, Popko? It's been a minute, yo.
Yeah, man. It's been a minute. My kid asked me this morning if I had a baby in my belly.
Oh yeah, I seen that on Facebook.
That's how I
So
started.
the
That's how
main question is, how far along are you?
uh,
And is there going to be a baby shower? Because I want to perform
all right,
there.
baby shower will be happening. Gus the Savage is performing. Bring gifts, but
Let's
don't bring
go.
baby gifts. I want beer. I didn't get this belly by drinking water.
Let's go.
Yeah, that's how my day started. Kid says to me, is there a baby in your belly? And I'm like thinking to myself, oh man, I need to lose some weight.
Yeah, that's all that Coors Light, man.
I know, man. It's a lot of things. I like food. I like good food. I like beer. Um, I don't work out. I'm lazy. I'm busy. I mean, I have a kid, and it's like I gotta. I work full time. I got a kid. I got a wife. Got a family. I'm very busy. I'm a podcaster. I'm a
Yeah.
famous podcaster. I don't know if you noticed,
What?
but I have awards for my podcast.
I see them, all of them, right
Yeah,
behind you.
I
Got a
am
couple myself.
back to back radio personality champion and podcast of the year.
Yeah, you beat me last year.
Which for what podcast?
Yeah, I was nominated. NEPA Limelight got nominated after being out for like a couple months, and I thought that was crazy. I was like, "What? We got nominated for an award already?" And I seen you were up there. I was like, "Yeah, that's it. Popko blew us right out the water. It's over."
Well, the problem is that was for alt natives, and
Yeah.
that no longer exists. So I started this. So hopefully, I mean, the awards are on this year. They're
Yes.
the Steamtown Awards are this year in November. I think they're November 18th, 19th, and 20th. Just announced
Sir.
by NEPA Scene a couple days ago. Typically, it's in September, but this year I think it's every second weekend, I believe, in September. But this year, with COVID and everything, the St. Patrick's Day parade got pushed from March to that weekend in September. So Caviston and Ken Norton, they're like, you know what, we're not going to try and compete with that. Plus, we weren't. I don't think they were sure where we kind of were as far as can we do stuff, can we not do stuff, and they had to plan obviously. So I think, yeah, they moved it to November. Hopefully this podcast will get a nomination. I don't know. We'll see.
Dude, I'm stoked for it. I was thinking that we weren't gonna have a Steamtown Music Awards or an Electric City Music Conference this year. And as soon as I seen the dates, I was like, yes, we're back.
Yeah, man.
And then with Rich bringing back NEPA Rising Talent Competition, oh yeah.
Yeah, it was unfortunate last year because, I think you and I were hanging out via the internet last year at some point. We were talking about the Steamtown Awards, and we are going to have an official drink, an official legal drink together.
Right.
At the awards. And the awards did exist. They were still at the V spot. I think I saw you kind of in passing, but it was a weird night though, because like we were all socially distanced, like people wearing masks. And I don't know about you, but like when people are masked up, I can't tell who's who.
I mean, shit, yeah. I mean, I saw you. You were at the table right across from mine. And it's not hard to like make out Gus The Savage because I was there with my dreads and my colorful hair, whatever. And I seen you, and it was like literally right after you had won the award, and I was like, "Congratulations!"
Oh, so I did see you.
Yes.
Oh, my bad. I wasn't even drunk. Damn, I'm just an asshole. That's all.
It's okay. It's okay. You said thank you, so not that much.
Yeah. I acknowledged you. Jesus, man, I'm terrible. I'm getting old. See, I'm getting old. I'm old and fat, man. I'm losing my edge.
You're pregnant.
Exactly. I'm 8 months along.
Gosh.
Oh man, but so Gus the Savage, man, you got some stuff going on. You made some big announcements recently, and then you kind of pulled back a little bit. So, but let's start with the I guess you can call it a rebrand of Gus the Savage. So, I mean, you're always doing something, man. I can never keep up and keep track of what you're doing. For you're wrestling, you're podcasting.
That's still a thing.
You're rapping, and then now you got colorful hair. You've got some an eye color change. You've got a grill shining in
Right.
your mouth right now. So what the hell is going on with Gus the Savage?
All right. So right now my hair is green and purple, and it's staying that way for a little bit because people kept comparing me to Takashi. So I was like, oh no, can't do that.
That's not a good look. No,
No
no, no.
way.
Don't do that.
But what made me go for the rebrand was just the fact that I thought that my rap wasn't as marketable anymore, and I was starting to lean more towards my singing side anyway. So I wanted to just like full-fledged, like just say fuck it and just do it. Like I'm gonna be a pop slash R&B artist now. And that's what led me to create the project Electrified, which is not electrified anymore. Like I had to put that on hold because of all the new things that are happening, which with me being signed to a label. I got that, and that being a part of the label. Shout out to DI Records, shout out to Dakota and Alana, my manager, for resubmitting me to the label. That is something that I'm humbled about. I'm blessed to be a part of it. It's been a long time coming. You know, I've been doing music for like 10 years. So getting that text message at like 12 o'clock, and Dakota hit me up. He was like, hey, like, I see that you're improving on your social media stuff, and Alana resubmitted you. How would you want to continue to release music through DI as a DI artist? And I was like, let's do it. Give me the rundown. He gave me the rundown. I read the contract like 3 times over and then signed it up.
And what does signing to DI Records mean?
Signing to DI Records means I have a team behind me that will be helping me push my music out there to a much larger audience now. So before I was more independent, doing things on my own. Now that I have my manager, Alana, things are much more organized, and a lot more is going to get done.
Okay. And where are they based out of?
Pittsburgh.
Oh, cool. Cool. Very cool. Yeah, I saw that. It looked like you were going away to college. You're signing your paper there. It was cool.
Right. That's what it felt like. It felt like I was signing for like a sports team.
Sports team. Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Which, I mean, this is your sport, right? This is who you are and what you do, and you're a musician, singer, songwriter. Yeah. So there you go.
Absolutely. My superintendent from my high school shared it, so it felt like I was going to college.
So you said you've been doing this for 10 years, and
Yes.
you are, I believe, still 21.
21.
So
Yep.
you've been doing this since you were 10?
Since I was 10.
And what were you doing when you were 10? I mean, you're rapping
was,
at school talent shows, or what were you doing?
No. Actually, it was at 11, because that would be like exactly 10 years.
Right.
So,
Okay. Yeah. I can't. I'm getting old and fat and pregnant.
I gotcha.
I can't add either.
Can't
so
do
sorry.
math. All right. But it started with me being in an Xbox Live party, and all my friends were rapping. So I was like, cool, I could do this too. And like that's where I guess I formed myself, and I named myself a whole bunch of other different things before, finally adopting the name Gus The Savage. Ooh, excuse me. But
Oh yeah, were you burping on that Sun-Kissed?
yeah,
You're
the
traveling.
Sun-Kissed. Okay.
You're traveling back in time to when you were actually 11 and drinking a Sun-Kissed. What are we,
You
not
know?
adults here? I thought we were having adult beverages. The first legal drink.
Right. I
You know
was
what, dude?
going to.
I wasn't gonna drink tonight. I always say this when I do this podcast. A lot of people, I'm like, I wasn't gonna drink tonight, and then, you said earlier you're gonna have some legal drinks with me, and here I am. I don't need this because I'm already fat, out of shape, and old. And I'm drinking, and you're not. Thanks, buddy.
I'm sorry. What do you want? You know what? I have there's liquor in my car. Okay, go get that.
No, I don't want to pressure you. I don't want to pressure you. Jesus. All right, Bats, 11 years old, Xbox Live.
Yeah, pretty much. That's usually how I always start my story, is bringing up the Xbox Live party. And ever since then, I dropped it for a little bit, picked it up again at 14, dropped it again, and took it serious at 16. I was rapping, and that was like my image. That was my main thing until I started to like grow up and age a little bit and mature and figure out what I really wanted to do with myself. And now I've gotten to the point in my career where I know exactly what I want, the kind of vibe of music that I want to do. Like everything has changed so much. Like I've deleted all my old music, like because
Really?
I don't want to be, yeah, I don't want to be associated with that anymore because that's not the type of image that I want to give out. Like I was rapping about like gang related stuff, smoking, drinking, bitches, all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? And that's not what I want to, deliver to people. Like, sure, I could add that into like, some melodic things, but as far as like the entire song talking about some, I'm gonna go running your, no, none of that. Like, there's a whole completely different GTS that sits before you. Like, I'm on a whole different type of time.
So, I mean, I imagine you're kind of married to the name Gus the Savage. I mean, I love the name. It probably would have been hard for me to get rid of too, but like, it wasn't there a way maybe you could have kept Gus the Savage in the past and left that music tied to that name and created, I mean, you created a whole new persona almost, like I said, the rebrand, the new hair, the eyes, the grill. I mean, what was
Um,
why keep the name?
So the problem with that is even before the rebrand, I've always tried to change my name. And anytime I try to change my name before I officially do it, I ask my supporters, I ask my fans, like, is this a good idea? And if I were to do it, what should my name be? And anytime I do that, everybody's commenting like, no, don't change your name. You've made a name for yourself as Gus Savage. Why would you do that? What are you gonna be? What are you gonna call yourself? And after a while, I was just like, you know what? I might as well just run with this. Like I've been running with it for the past 5 years and everybody's feeling it. So I might as well just keep it. As much as I really don't want to, it's kind of like become like my thing where I'm known for that. Nobody else is gonna want to call me anything else besides Gus the Savage.
I don't know. I want to call you Gus the Sober. So,
Yeah. Well, guess what? I'm not as sober as you think.
oh, okay.
Mm.
That's illegal.
Hey, weed, city limit.
Oh, yeah.
Population
420.
420.
How clever. Clever. No, I get it though. I mean, I think it's a cool name. I get it. I mean, when I started this whole podcast thing and I didn't want to name it after I didn't want my name in it because I felt like it was like kind of pretentious. And I just kind
Right.
of I didn't want people to think I was like fooling myself. But people are like, no, dude, you mean you've been Popko for I mean
All your
years,
life.
years, Yeah, it's my last name for real. My entire life. But like, I mean, people know me as that just through the radio show and all that kind of stuff. Like, you gotta keep your name in there because like people know who you are. So I get it.
Hell yeah. That's how I met you. Like I heard you. I would be in whoever's car we'd be listening to 92.1 and Popko on
R.I.P.
the radio.
R.I.P. 92.1. R.I.P.
Oh, rest in peace. Now we have Q 92.
Q
And
92. We're
yeah.
safe. We're female. We love the female. We want to boring. But yeah, I mean, like, well, you've been you've been very vocal. I mean, you always say that this area, NEPA, Northeastern Pennsylvania, for anyone listening outside of, where Gus and I live, um, it's not an area conducive to a rap artist, and you've been very vocal about that.
Oh yeah.
What kind of hurdles have you, come across, and does that play into the whole, change?
Yes, it does. Getting into venues, tough, because everybody's booking shows for rock bands, and I've never discriminated rock bands. I love everybody who does music because it's exactly what I'm doing. But there comes a point in time where you say, all right, enough's enough. Like we need at least 2 or 3 hip hop shows in these venues, and people will actually come out to those because there are people in this area interested in listening to hip hop music. There are people in this area interested in listening to pop and R&B. So why not give that to the people? Like I've seen a whole bunch of music festivals around here, and all they're doing is getting bands in, and not one of them has a hip hop act, a pop act, R&B, none of that. There's a lot of EDM festivals that are throwing up the mountain, and it's like, where do we have to go? We have to leave our city in order for us to like do more shows, in order for us to get more recognition, because everything else is overshadowing what we're trying to do.
Yeah, why do you think that is? I mean, what do you think is the reason behind the, I don't want to say neglect, but there's got to be a reason, whether it's a financial thing or whatever it might be. What do you think it is?
I wouldn't say it's much of a financial thing. I feel like it has to do with the image that comes with the genre. Um, I feel like venues are thinking that it's too much of a liability to have a hip hop act in there, because they're going to come with this big entourage and it's going to be crazy and there's going to be a fight or whatever. And a lot of the times that usually happens, but that's because people just don't know how to contain themselves and they don't know how to act professional. And it's not our faults, it's not the people who are actually trying to get into the venues and do things professionally. It's everybody else who is reckless, everybody else who doesn't know how to act, everybody else who feels like they're better than other people in that venue. Like when I walk into a show that I'm doing with multiple people, I don't feel like I'm like the one star. I feel like everybody in the venue is equal. We have to sit on that stage. We have to hype the crowd up. We have a job to do, in and out. You know what I'm saying? I socialize afterwards or whatever the case may be, but never get into physical altercations where like the venue doesn't allow me to come back. And I feel like that is one of the many reasons why hip hop is so over, shadowed, or whatever the word is. It's like just put under the radar, basically. Put under the radar because of the image it has and the image it comes with. And that's what I feel.
Do you think it has a lot to do with race?
Um, you put me on the spot.
Well, let's be honest. Let's be completely transparent. We live in an area that is primarily white.
Yes.
I mean, I always tell the story. I remember um, my first lesson in equality, and it was by my mother. I don't know how old I was. I was old enough to remember this happening. So maybe 5, 6 years old. Um, I we'd get a calendar for the year and would hang up on the refrigerator. And I would rush over and I would see like what picture was on my birthday month, right? And I saw it and I said, "Mommy, I don't like the picture on my birthday month." And she said, "Why?" And I said, "Because there's a black person on it." And that moment right there, my mom said to me, like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 wait a minute." Now I was young. I didn't know any better. It was completely just it was an innocent remark, right?
Right.
But from that moment moving forward, I got a lesson in equality and not to see color. Um, but to going back to what we're talking about, like I feel like this area and a lot of the world. I mean, we're living in a crazy, crazy world. I think we're more divided than ever before. I don't want to get stuck on race, but it is reality, you know. So I mean, do you think race and that kind of stuff plays into what you're trying to do?
Well, if I'm allowed to be transparent, then I feel as though some of these venues are a little bit, pulling that card. I can't say all, because Vinny at the V Spot has allowed me to perform there. Keystone Stage has blessed us with an open mic, being able to perform there. I've been able to perform at Stage West. Um, but there's a lot of venues in this area that when you deliver an EPK like mine, um, at first they're interested because you're using words like, hey, I have this artist, and you're using all these nice business words with this owner, and they're like, oh yeah, all right, send me their music. As soon as you send that EPK, it's just like you never hear back. You never hear back, or they require you to do some big extra step in order for you to get in that venue, you know?
Yeah, and I wouldn't even say that the business owners are racist or by any means. I just feel like there's just this issue, and they just, they feel like they're, like you said before, problems come along with everything like that, the rap, industry and things like that, which is, it's sad but true. It's like, it's a weird thing, man. And it's, like I said, we are um living in a crazy world, and it's a shame. It really is.
Yeah. And that's why I'm grateful for you and the things you do for the scene and this podcast here, because I get to use my voice just like everybody else gets to come on here and use their voice. So from me and everybody else, I appreciate you.
Well, no, I appreciate your appreciation, but I mean, it's just, that's one thing I loved about the radio show, because like that show shined a light on artists and genres that no one else was touching. Nobody else was touching. And if people who still had a show were smart, they would capitalize on the fact that I'm not around on the radio, at least, right? Because there's still there. I mean, like, there's great music that's not being featured. So like, it sucks where I can't feature 11, 12 artists a week anymore. I can only do one or two. But I mean, that's why I created this whole platform, was because like I couldn't go away. I feel like I needed you guys more than you needed me, to be 100% honest. 100% honest. I need you guys more than you need me.
Dude, we needed you. When I found out that Alt Natives was dying, I cried in my car. I'm for real. I cried in my car because I was like, this is the only station that plays local music. It's the only station that plays local hip hop, local rock, local pop, local R&B, local everything. And that is getting swept under us. Mm-hmm. And then we have these local radio stations, not to name the channels, but they know who they are. The top 40 stations, the ones that are local in the area and don't acknowledge anybody local making music. They'd rather play Justin Bieber Peaches 16 times a day.
Well, to be fair, I mean, Lissa was trying to do Lissa from KRZ.
Oh no, I'm not taking.
I know you're not. I know you're not.
She's amazing. I did a podcast with her.
I know you're not. I know you're not. I'm just for people listening to this or watching this, like, KRZ. I don't know what happened to her thing. She was doing that. She was featuring local artists.
They
she herself
that under her too. She told me.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened there. We won't talk about it, but she was trying to do a local thing, and she's a local musician herself,
right?
So it's a shame that for whatever reason that ended. But there's other stations in this market who they do have a local hour of music, and they just kind of, I think they fall short. I'll say it out loud. I just think they fall short, and that's why I get so mad that what happened with 92.1, because not only was that my favorite hour of the week, I feel like, well, I know in my heart that was a place that was, giving artists who weren't given a chance. I'll say it out loud. I don't care.
Dude, I agree 100%. I agree 100%. Like that moment that I heard I Want It All on the radio, it felt like I was on a famous radio station. Like hearing, now we have Gus The Savage with I Want It All. I was like, what? Like I still had the video, and it's so nostalgic to me.
Yeah.
Because like that was my first time ever getting radio play. And then from then on, you would hit me up every other week. I'm like, hey, we're playing it again. We're playing it again. Like it was amazing. And then that getting taken away was just so sad. Like I was like, oh my God.
Artists like, you and Ty Soul and
Nate, Amanda.
And, just, it's a shame. It's a shame.
It's sad, but
what am I going to do?
Get back on the radio. That's what you're going to do.
I'm going to buy a radio station, and I'm just going to play all local music for 24 hours straight.
Dude, that would be legendary.
I mean, I get it, man. The top 40 stations have to do their thing. They have to, they have to play the hits and appease their advertisers, and there's a whole, an Entercom and stations like that. They're a big cog in the whole grand scheme of things. Like what was great about 92.1 and Time Shamrock, like that that building, that business, like those stations were legit locally owned. Like the ownership sat in those buildings. Now, I'm friends with a lot of people on radio. I'm friends with people at Cumulus, 97.9X, Entercom, Jumpin' Jeff Walker, Lissa. I'm not talking any ill will towards them. I love them, but their hands are tied by corporate. I mean, Entercom is a huge, huge corporate thing. Stations all over the country. They have people to answer to. I get it. So it is what it is, man.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate.
When you put it that way, I guess you gave me like a sense of understanding, because like I didn't really know what truly goes into it. But at the same time, I thought like, all right, they're local. They should be able to at least do this for like, a certain time.
No, so I mean, KR is a local station to us, right? Yes.
Right.
Local to this market, they cover, I don't even know how many counties they cover, but it's a big station. I mean, they have a really big coverage area. But again, yeah, like all those talents, Lissa, Rocky, Jumpin' Jeff Walker, man, I'm friends with all of them. I hope they still consider me friends.
Are you friends with Ryan Seacrest too?
No, that's all syndicated stuff, bro. That's all syndicated stuff. That's all just plugged in and played. I'm not really telling secrets. It's common knowledge. You can Google it on the internet. It's crazy, this internet thing. But no, I mean, they do what they can, and Lissa did it too. Lissa was doing the whole, she did what she could as far as a local, connections that she could create. Again, because she's a musician, which was awesome.
She had me on one time,
Yep.
and that being in the KRZ studio, I was just like, wow, like this is my first radio interview.
Dude, that's the shit you grew up with.
On the radio. Yeah, like like I was like, oh my God, coming over here to visit from New York, listening to 98.5 KRZ. And as soon as I stepped foot in there, I was like, yo, you don't know how much this means to me. Like, this is amazing. And then the next day on air, Rocky and Lissa talked about me. They mentioned me,
and that's huge.
Show, and I was like, what?
That's huge.
Yeah.
I mean, they have, people say radio's dead, man, but like there are some staples in this area. Jumpin' Jeff Walker, obviously huge. Rocky and Lissa, Prospector on Rock 107, Hoover on Rock 107. There's a lot of great talent in this area. But I'm sad to be not part of it anymore. So if anyone listening out there wants to bring on a local bum who has no business on the radio again, hit me up.
And who's pregnant, by the way. He's 8
A
months
pregnant.
After that one, he might just be 9.
A pregnant man. I mean, that's going to gain listenership all in itself.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
a pregnant man? Bro.
Viewership all around. A pregnant man on the radio?
Absolutely.
Sign me up to
Absolutely.
Listen.
But you know what you said? You said
every day.
You said that you would come in from New York. So, yeah, you're not really originally from Northeastern Pennsylvania.
No. I'm from the Bronx.
From the Bronx. When did you?
I lived there for 16 years of my life.
So 16? You moved here when you were 16?
Mm-hmm.
So you've been here for 5 years. So what brought you to this little slice of heaven called Northeastern Pennsylvania?
My mom passed away, and I didn't have much of a choice. So I had to come live with my sister. And that really made my life do a complete 180. I graduated high school. I started doing more extracurricular activities. I was in a play, and people thought that I wasn't tough because I was in the play, and then they tried to test me eventually, but we're not going to talk about that. But yeah, living out here really changed me a lot. Like, if I was still in New York, I would have been either in a gang, dead, in jail, or dealing drugs. And I was going down a couple of those routes, so I'm glad. I take everything with a grain of salt now, and just try to be as successful as I can be with this music.
So would you consider, I mean, for the life you have now and the person you are now, would you consider, you know, the passing of your mother? And I'm sorry that that happened. I mean, I lost my father when I was very young. Um, would you consider that at the end of the day kind of a blessing?
Um, I feel like it's a blessing and a curse because it's a blessing that my life changed, and it's a curse because as time goes by, all these good things are happening to me. I'm no longer a physical being to be able to see these things. Now she's here with me spiritually in my
Sure.
heart, always looking, over me in heaven. But not having her here with me when I won my first award, not having her here with me when I signed my first record deal, not having her with me when I was doing all my shows, that like it affected me, but it fueled me at the same time. So like I said, it's a blessing and a curse because
Sure.
if it wasn't for that happening, my.
Yeah. I mean, it's weird how things work out. And I I try and be a strong believer in um, everything happens for a reason. Um, and I'll share this with you because I feel like you said you're a spiritual person, right?
Mhm.
I lost my best friend's father. It was like a second father to me in September of 2004. No, yeah, I should know this. Four. It was four. Um, 2 months later, I lost my grandmother. 2 months after that, I lost my other grandmother. And then 6 months after that, I lost my father. And for years, I always thought, there's a reason why this is happening to me. And I could never find out what the reason was. And I still don't have, I still I haven't got an answer to that question. Why did this happen? 'Cause again, I'm very big into everything happens for a reason. So I said to myself, what is the reason this happened to me? And maybe you can take away from this conversation this what I'm going to say to you next. And I feel like, if it happened to anybody else, whether it was me, my best friend who his, I mentioned his father passed away. Let's add you into the mix too. Other people might not be able to handle it the way we did, right? Other people may have happened to them, and that could have sent them into a tailspin, whether it was drugs or just bad decisions, maybe down a bad road. But it happened to you because he knew that you could handle it. That's all I got for you.
Wow. That I don't know what to say. I
Take it
could
for what it's
agree.
worth. I mean,
I could
like I said,
agree.
you know, people are different and people handle things differently. And not that anyone's weak. If that's happened to them, they're not weak if they went down the wrong road. They're not weak if they couldn't handle it. I mean, people are different. But, maybe instead of it happening to someone that God felt was, couldn't handle it, he chose you. He chose me. He chose my best friend. He chose, my two brothers who, were 11 and 14 or something like that. My mom, like he chose us as people to do that to because he knew that we could handle it. And he spared those who couldn't.
I've always been told that the Lord never puts you in situations that you can't handle. So you're absolutely right about that.
Yep. So sorry to get deep on you, but
Nah, dude, you almost made me cry. You almost made me cry.
yeah, it's just it's weird how life kind of works out. It's And I've been, my wife and I have been tested greatly the past year and a half, almost 2 years. I still go back to that. We have each other. We have a great family. The things that we're going through are not ideal, but we have each other. We're strong because we have each other. And again, maybe other people don't have that support system, and if it happened to them, it wouldn't be that good for them. So again, and I'm not trying to sound like, oh, like, we're the strongest people in the world, and like, I'm not saying that at all. I mean, there's times where you break down and you cry and you say, why me? But at the end of the day, you have people around you, you have support, and you have your mental ability to kind of move on. So
Oh yeah.
that's all I'm gonna. I'll end the talk with that there.
Dude, that's a perfect way to put a period on that, you know.
But so I mean, what's next for Gus the Savage? I know you had all these plans for Electrified. You were full steam ahead, and then you kind of alluded to the fact that you got signed and you had to make some changes. What can we expect from Gus the Savage? In 2021. I'm not going to hold you to it. If it doesn't happen, doesn't happen. But I mean, what are you like right now? If you're planning for the rest of the year, what are you thinking about?
Everything I'm about to tell you, you can hold me to it. Okay. So Electrified is not happening. The project itself is, but it's no longer going to be called Electrified. I felt like the name Electrified wasn't too eye-catching, ear-grasping, whatever you want to call it. And I wanted to name it something that had a theme, something that had meaning, and something that like resonates with people. So officially, it is going to be called Bed of Roses. And it is a R&B pop style trap soul album, 10 songs. And I won't reveal too much, but each track name is going to be pretty cool, and you'll see why when I do the reveal of the track list. I don't have an exact date on that, but it's coming real soon. It's coming along great. I have at least one song done so far for it. I have a whole bunch of singles ready to go, so you can expect some singles throughout the year. Um, I'm trying to set up for a music video for one of the singles, so be on the lookout for that. If that doesn't happen, then that doesn't happen. But right now, I'm trying for it. I'm looking for a good date, a good location. Once I find that, then hopefully I'll be ready to go. And I'm returning to the V Spot Tuesday night on the first night of the open mics. And I've been waiting for that since last year, since COVID happened. We didn't get to do it last year. So I'm glad that Rich is back in the V Spot and we're able to do it again. This time, it's not going to be much of a competition. It's going to be more of a showcase of the talents. So bring your hula hoops, bring your backflips, bring your drum kits, and let's get right back in the V Spot, fill her up, and put on a show. As far as separate shows from that, I don't have anything right now, but I'm sure that my manager will whip some up. And after this project drops, I might do a little some. So who knows? I'm putting it all in the hands of God right now.
Well, you're in good hands, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And Gus was talking about the NEPA scene, Rising Talent, which is put on by the entertainment website called NEPA Scene. Rich Howells and I used to work at the Weekender together back in the day. He was my editor when I was the general manager at that publication. And I think 2015 or 14, maybe, he started NEPA Scene after he cut ties with the Weekender. And I'll tell you what, man, he he's independent. He's on a shoestring budget, but he still puts out some of the best content and coverage of the local arts scene in Northeastern Pennsylvania. Better than some of the the big companies who have budgets behind them and a full staff, he does it better than they do, and it's incredible to see what he does. And I had the pleasure of being a part of the NAPA Scene podcast back in 2017 when it kind of relaunched. I did that with Rich for a couple of years, and he does great things. Super supportive of this area. We're lucky to have guys and like that here to help, give people like you and artists, and as a cat, but musicians and artists a chance. And poets and
Everything.
magicians and
Literally
comedians and all that kind of
everything.
stuff. Yeah. So Tuesday nights, the V Spot in Scranton, one of the best places to be at. Vinny and Frank, the owners of the V Spot, are two of the best people that I know. And Vinny just had a baby, if you can believe that.
Shout out to Vinny. Congratulations.
Yeah, congrats to him and his wife. He must be bored or something. I don't know how he does it.
I don't know.
Maybe he
what
could
he's
take
doing over
maybe
there.
he could take care of my kid when I have my baby in a month or so.
Oh yes, there you go.
Vinny daycare. I mean, you're gonna watch my kid.
Hey, congratulations to you on making it 8 years into your marriage. I saw that.
It's 6.
Oh, 6.
6 years. Yeah, we celebrated 6
I'm
years in
sorry.
June. We've been together for 13.
Oh.
We celebrated 6 years June 27th. But thank you.
I must have read it wrong. I don't know.
No, so
dyslexia.
So we were engaged for 8 years.
Oh.
Yeah. We got engaged on the 4th of July in 2013. So that's where you got that from. So you're not wrong.
Okay.
Together for 13, engaged for 8, married for 6. And we have a wonderful baby boy.
Talk about why you was engaged for that long, man. Like, what you was waiting for, bro?
Well, here's the thing. We were together for 5 years before I proposed.
Mm.
My wife is 4 years younger than I am, and she was in school for 1,000 years. So we wanted to wait until. Well, I mean, and I was still. 2008, I was only in my career for 3 years when we met. So I was still waiting so I could afford to get her the nice ring she deserved and all that kind of fun stuff. So yeah, I mean, things, we've been together for a long time, but I never had a timeline. I mean, I honestly, if we're being honest here, when we first met, I didn't expect her to stick around for more than 3 months. I'm like, she'll be here and gone. Like, she'll smarten up eventually. Yeah. 6 months goes by. I'm like, she's still here. Is this girl? I don't know. Is she dumb? But yeah. So yeah, we've been together 13 years, happily married for 6 of them.
Soon there'll be a GTS wedding. You could count on it.
What's that?
I said soon there'll be a GTS wedding. You could count on it.
Oh boy.
Yes, sir.
You better be careful, bro. I have like 5 million listeners on this podcast.
Hey, man.
I don't. I always joke. Man, I hope one day, like, you can come back on and I'll have like 10,000 listeners and I could help change lives, or I could, because I built this platform because I want to be able to help people talk about what they're passionate about, and whether it's music or a new restaurant opening up or whatever it might be. I want to be able to, my goal was to create something where people are like, yo, we're doing something. We need to contact Popko because, his audience is a big reach and we can benefit from being a part of that. So that's my goal.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm about to say something that's going to put a big old smile on your face. Look, you already smiled. You are NEPA's Joe Rogan.
Oh, I needed that laugh. Thank you.
It's true.
I do have a custom-made lamp behind me, created by Scott Nichols. It's a Joe Rogan inspired lamp. That's you know what? If that's all I ever amount to be, that's okay in my book. a good father, a good husband, and the
And
Joe Rogan of
NEPAs.
NEPA.
That's right.
I'll change that on my profile. Like father, husband, attempting to
NEPA's Joe
be
Rogan.
NEPA's Joe Rogan.
No, dude, you're there. You're there.
Well, I appreciate that. I wouldn't go that far. I do appreciate that though, but I'm a
Dude,
nobody.
I'm giving you your flowers now before it's too late, man.
I'm a nobody, man. I'm just a guy who loves this area, loves the people in it, loves the art scene. Love people like you. And I just want to be an avenue and a vehicle to promote that kind of stuff. So that's what I'm doing, man.
You're doing your thing, man. So again, we appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate you a lot because
Cool.
if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have got my first radio spins. If it wasn't for you, a lot of people wouldn't have heard the song I Wanted It All, and it wouldn't have got the streams that it got. So, dude, you're amazing.
I appreciate you. I'm looking forward to seeing what the next rendition of Gus the Savage is. I'm excited for the
Better
new songs.
Roses. Better
Yeah.
Roses is it's gonna be, I'm gonna say this now, and I say this with confidence. It's gonna be one of my best pieces of work that I've ever delivered to my viewers. So,
Well, I don't edit these, so you can't
dude,
take it back now.
you can hold me. You can hold me
You
to
gotta
it.
do it.
Like,
You gotta do
you
it.
can hold me to it.
Well, man, where can people find you online? I know you said you took away your music online, but where can people find you on social media? Where can they keep up to date with the new and improved? Oh, I don't want to say
Yes.
improved, but what?
Way more improved. Way more
Okay,
improved.
you
and
said it, not me.
organized.
I didn't want to
Definitely.
say improved because I mean you've always been and especially with your age and things that have happened to you, you're very respectable and you're I think you're mature for your age to an extent. So,
Yes.
but where can people find you on social media to keep up with what's going on?
Catch me on Facebook, Gus The Savage, Instagram, GTS570, Twitter, GTS570, Snapchat, if you really want to get personal, Gus_the_Savage, and my YouTube channel. I'm going to be bringing back those YouTube videos, Savage Takeover 2.0, and new music will be dropped on all platforms at Gus The Savage. So be on the lookout because Better Roses is coming soon, and it's full of roses on the bed. You know.
Are you gonna have Axl Rose do some backing vocals? I feel like Bed of Roses. I feel like that's like Guns N' Roses like esque. Do you know who Guns N' Roses is?
Yes.
Okay, I'm joking.
Come on.
You're very young. You're very young, and that band is very old.
Yeah, they are.
But all right, man. Well, I think you got big plans for tonight, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Got some dinner to head off to.
Gotta do that. Gotta eat
All
some
right.
food, you know.
Well, I don't wanna keep it too late. It's already, what time is it, man? It's already 9:30. You gotta get that dinner. So take care of that. It's good talking to you. Appreciate your time. And again, looking forward to what Gus the Savage has up his sleeve.
Always got some up there.
All right, man. Be well. And hopefully I'll see you soon.
Oh, definitely.
All right. See ya.